And welcome back to more Bloodstained, Curse of the Moon. So last time we survived stages 5 through 7, and this time we're taking on the final stage of this playthrough. Stage 8, Curse the Moon. So, this is very Castlevania, and aesthetically is probably one of my favorite levels. The amount of background detail is great. By the way, do not touch that, cloud of darkness chasing after us. It does hurt you and does cause a knockback, which, isn't great, when trying to do platforming with it, which we will have to do later on. So that's gonna be fun. There are those enemies down there that charge at you. You have to be careful, or else, you might jump into the flames that spawn behind them as they charge. Here, you want to hide in the lighter colored areas. The darker parts of the wall indicate where the cloud of darkness is gonna hit, so be on the lookout for that. So up here we have more of these enemies that try to pounce at us. Miriam is best suited for dealing with them because she has the best range and can avoid the splash damage from the little hearts. There are also these little flying enemies that I still don't know how to fight efficiently from stage 3. There's a heart here, definitely pick that up. We can use all the health we can get going into this final stage. This room in particular looks really striking. It's such a weird art style because it's simultaneously 8-bit, but there's a lot of things in this game that kind of look more like 16-bit, maybe even 32-bit even, with the amount of sprite detail of some of the enemies. The color palettes kind of evoke an NES style because they're kind of more limited in color palette. But in terms of sheer animation quality, they're undeniably in terms of pixel count closer to something you'd find in a Saturn game. That's bad. So we're gonna try to fly to salvage that situation and make it up to a little bit of a shortcut. So you could go down, but that takes a while. So we are going to go straight across. And this is a pretty scary room. By the way, the stained glass window looks really cool in the background. Again, things that are it's NES styled and inspired, but they do things that are definitely not possible on an actual NES. I'm pretty sure even a Super Nintendo couldn't get that level of background detail. This is the worst room in this entire level. Never mind, I'm thinking of the next a room coming up pretty soon. That's a gargoyle-like enemy. They launch little energy orbs at us, easy to dodge. Some of its movement patterns can be a little bit difficult to avoid though. This is the room I was thinking of, with all of the frogs. Definitely try playing as Jeeble here if you have a lot of weapon points. Skipping that room is very helpful. Trying to navigate it on the ground is very difficult. By the way, you actually have to jump, because I'm pretty sure there is a pit there, so you can't just walk over. You do need to jump, because I have almost died from that before. So yeah, be careful with that. What happens if I break this with Jeeble? You still get the scroll. Cool. I could actually use a little bit more magic after that, so gonna jump right about there, and missed. Oh well, that's why I decided to do that as Jeeble, just in case, so I have a backup plan to save myself. Alright, so we're gonna break all these with Jeeble because we have the, what I find to be the ideal weapon setup. And with that, we are ready for the final boss. This is Gremory. She attacks by summoning more little clouds of darkness like before, and also attacking with these little orbs. I think there's also the ability to for her to summon green orbs as well. I'm getting really lucky. I happen to be jumping where I should be standing to dodge everything. I'm not doing that on purpose, actually. It's just very good luck that I'm able to dodge all this. That's bad. Overall, this fight isn't too difficult. Of course, there's a catch. And welcome to Phase 2 of the Gremory fight. So she has a bit more of a moon motif now. I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that Zangetsu means something like cleave the moon, so it actually makes sense that the final demon has a moon theming going on. You want to look out for the crescent moon, not the crescent, the full moon, because this is when you have an opening to attack her. Attack the eyes to make a platform, and then jump up. Make sure you jump over this laser, because it can very easily knock you off the tower, and then you have to redo the first phase as well. So that's like a 3/4 moon, I'm not sure what the actual term would be, but if you manage to destroy the little crescents attacking you, you do get some magic refills on occasion, so it is actually a good idea to try to attack as many as you can. So stand in the middle, wait for the second set of spears, and then get moving. You can also break the... I should have broken that with, not Miriam, but oh well. This fight isn't too difficult. This attack, I'm not sure... Oh, we didn't get to see it. Zangetsu was astonished by his own actions. For what reason did he do this? He existed to slay demons to take revenge, but long-lost emotions had been rekindled. However, the time for that had passed. As his consciousness drowned in darkness, Zangetsu could only pray for their safety. And so, in order to stop the new Dark Emperor, Zangetsu's allies plunge into battle again. They may have to end their ally's life, but can they still save his soul? To be continued. And that's the game. Sort of. By completing a normal mode playthrough with all 4 allies, you unlock Nightmare Mode. And we'll be going over that a little bit after these credits. Overall, for some quick thoughts, as the credits roll, I really like this game. This is one of my favorite classic style Castlevanias, even without playing a whole lot, and is a fantastic, like, 8-bit styled rendition of this formula. I am really looking forward to the sequel, playing that whenever I get a chance to. I hope it's just as good, if not better. You can play as like a corgi in a steampunk robot suit, so like, you can't go wrong with that, right? Yeah, overall, I would recommend it highly. It's only like $10, I'm pretty sure it's on Steam, PS4, Switch. I think it's like on Xbox One and like Vita, and maybe even 3DS. It's basically on everything. So yeah, if you want a very good retro-style game, Curse of the Moon is a good time, and with a lot of replayability as well, which I appreciate. I've done quite a few playthroughs, to be honest. So yeah, it's definitely very replayable and really fun if you can get over it being a little bit difficult. It's definitely not an easy game, even as someone who's played other Castlevania games, but it is probably the best jumping in point, though. I also want to play more Inti Creates games now, like Blaster Master Zero series, and a few others, like Mega Man Zero. Thank you for playing! With that, we will return to the title screen, and we are going to start a new game. So those are our final stats for this playthrough, but now, in order to save Zangetsu, who has fallen into darkness, his allies set out on once more. So once again, we have the choice of veteran or casual style. We are once again choosing veteran. At Journey's end, Zangetsu protected his allies, at the cost of succumbing to the darkness. In order to stop him, his allies venture forth once more. They may have to take their ally's life, but can they still save his soul? Moonlight Temptation, Stage 1 once again. So now we are starting out with Miriam, Alfred, and Jibol. And no Zangetsu. We're back down to 3 lives and default stats, but in Stage 1 in particular, we have a new path to take up here. To make up for the fact that you're down 1 character, they do give you 1 extra ability, which I think is a really cool compromise. Also, in Nightmare mode, we'll be going over this in a bit, but it is actually a little bit tougher as well. It's not exactly the same game as before. Wow, that's a good start. At least we start up here. Yeah, really good start there, but oh well. Okay, I'm not taking any chances, I just need to show this one thing and get to the end of this. I hope I don't need Miriam to show this. I'm just kind of realizing, like, wait a minute, do I just need Sheeple? Also, this enemy from the end of the game is in this path, so definitely designed for a tougher playthrough. I wasn't sure if I was gonna land, so I just turned into that to stay safe. But we have an extra heart pickup, so now we have 3 heart pickups to collect. We can also get every other power-up. Yeah, they compromise by putting a lot more difficult enemies because they expect you to have played normal mode, which I think is a fair expectation on the player. Yeah, this is a lot tougher. I'm not going to be showing every stage because for the most part it is very similar. The bosses though are different, so for the sake of showing this off, I will be at least playing the first boss of Nightmare mode. So once again, we're on the train again. I actually didn't really finish my thought from the first playthrough. I'm pretty sure I was talking... oh. I'm pretty sure I was talking a little bit about how the train reminded me of Final Fantasy, 6? And the reason is, obviously, the ghost train that you suplex in that game. I'm not too concerned about lives in this, because I'm probably, to show off one more thing, I'm probably just gonna boot up my completed file anyway. By the way, we can slide through there now with Miriam, except she's not in the party, so hey, let's actually try something out. Weirdly enough, despite this being like a more difficult mode, I actually find it easier than Zangetsu Solo. That to me is the toughest challenge. If you look at my completed files, I ended like every playthrough with like 8 or 9 lives. The last playthrough I ended with like 15 lives. The Zangetsu only playthrough I ended with 4 lives. So considerably fewer. So yeah, even the slightly bumped up difficulty, is still easier to deal with. The biggest change is the bosses that have been made slightly tougher to deal with. Not too bad, just slightly tweaked patterns. So we'll use the Glutton Train as an example of this. I was hoping for ice. I'm not sure if I even showed this off, but the decoy can actually attack, like so. It's not a great move, honestly. I'm not even sure if it serves any platforming reason like some of the other moves do. But here we are at the train once more. Gonna restock. Not really a point because we only have 20 weapon energy. Also, because they expect you to have already played the game, bosses are way more aggressive now. Like, extremely aggressive now. I'm not sure which ones I find the hardest. I actually think Stage 2's rematch is one of the harder fights. I'm pretty sure the fireball is used a lot more. I'm pretty sure dodging these is harder. Yeah, you can't just hug the left side of the screen anymore. You actually have to dodge. And we got a fireball there. So again, the attack patterns have been changed up a little bit. I don't think it's worth going through the game all over again, so I'm only going to show this boss and one more thing at the very end of the game that changes. Actually, Jeeble can hit this boss normally, hence probably why the fireball attack is more aggressive, because otherwise, you can just kind of stand in place and attack. Yeah, it's kind of worth taking a hit on that. We'll fly over that, and just gonna keep dealing as much damage. They also have more health, obviously, because... Never mind. It does have more health, but it's not particularly noticeable. I'm pretty sure a lot of the desperation attacks have been made a little bit tougher as well. I'm actually not sure on that. In this case, I guess not, but I think some of them might be tougher. I'm not 100% sure. Frigid Hell, Stage 2, once more. We actually have two characters who can actually hit these lanterns now. It is kind of cool. I really like this idea of playing through old stages with different characters, and that seems to be something they are bringing back, from what I can tell, for Curse of the Moon 2, with the ability to play the characters from this game, even though I'm pretty sure the focus is on a new set of 3 characters along with Zangetsu. I'm actually not sure which ending will be canon though. There is an ending where Zangetsu is the only one that survives, so I'm actually wondering if, like, the good ending, I think that's considered, like, the good ending, but not the best ending. I wonder if that's actually gonna be the canon one, and then just have the other 3 as playable characters as, like, a side mode. In this particular level, there aren't too many changes as an example. I just wanted to go through a little bit more, just to go over some more things. Yeah, overall, the biggest change is the bosses. This is the worst boss. We're not gonna get to this boss because of how long the stage is and how much time we have left, but because I think you actually need to jump on the icicles because the attacks are higher and just generally more aggressive attack patterns, so there's a lot more to worry about. But there is one more difference. At the end of Stage 7, you don't go to Stage 8. There is a new stage that is unlocked by going through Stages 1 through 7 in Nightmare mode. So next time, we will be going through Stage 9. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Bloodstained Curse of the Moon.